There has been a trend to do trials, more and more trials overseas, and a lot of that has been driven by regulatory concerns in the United States. There is a fear that it is difficult to iterate, where it is much easier to iterate your technology within the scope of let's say, a pilot trial outside the United States. Inside the United States, historically, it's been very challenging to make modifications to your technology as you're learning in the clinical trial process. This is changing. There are some new draft guidelines and some new things coming from the FDA, which are trying to encourage, innovators to do work back in the United States. I think that bias will probably still remain. A lot of these changes are going to be helpful and will probably draw some back, but I think there is just a natural ease with which a lot of these other things can be accomplished elsewhere, just the way the regulatory systems are built and executed. The responsibility for the local ethics committees are much greater outside the United States. And in the United States, ethics committees do have an important role, but they're not given as much authority, so that means there's a much larger bureaucracy that needs to be involved for any type of changes, and that is time and money for small companies. When you get to pivotal trials, it's all about data quality. You want to do your work in countries where the physicians are well trained, and especially they have experience with clinical trials. There's no better place than the United States to do a well-run trial. Of course, centers do vary in their ability to do trials, but there are excellent centers in the United States. There's also excellent centers outside the United States. And it is very possible to do a exceptionally high-quality study outside the United States in many parts of the world. What matters is your control systems, your people who are running the trial, and all the oversight necessary to make sure that the data is sound, it's been verified, monitored, and that you've got a good database that supports all of the assessment and analysis of the data.